Hi, book besties, Shreen here. How are you guys doing? I miss you guys so much. The reason I haven't posted any videos in a while is that I was on vacation for a month, and when I got back, I got really sick. You can still hear my voice is not normal, so I got a terrible cold. So that's why I couldn't talk to you guys. I'm back now, I'm feeling better, and today I'm going to show you guys all the books I have bought while on vacation. So we went to America. We visited few cities, me and my husband, and my most favorite bookstore was in Brooklyn. It's called Bodice. You guys must have heard it. It's a very cute romance bookstore. It was beautiful. I'll post some photos and videos for you guys on my Instagram. You guys can follow me there to see how beautiful the store was. And I was in love with those books and how they have arranged it. There were so many only romance books, like all the shelves were romance books. It was like a dream. And I also went to the biggest Barnes and Noble bookstore in New York, uh, the one in Union Square. And that was nice too. It was, I think, three-storied building. So many books, and they also had a cafe. People were, sipping their coffees while reading. It was all felt dreamy. But my favorite was the trip to Bodice, then Barnes and Noble, shockingly, because I thought I will fall in love with Barnes and Noble. But Ripped Bodies was more like, um, it felt more personalized. And I'll show you guys the photos on my Instagram. You'll see what I mean. I cannot remember which books I bought from which store. In total, I bought 7 books. I know it's not much for a big book haul, but I had a strict budget because I knew I could go crazy once I see how many books that they have, shelves and shelves of books. And they also have these ladders, so you can go up shelves and choose and check books. I went crazy. So it's good thing that I had a budget. You'll have to excuse me about my voice. It might get a bit throaty. I apologize in advance. And when I went inside the bookstores, I was so overwhelmed with how many books they had. And when you're on vacation, book shopping is not the sole purpose on some days. So we didn't have much time to sit and roam around the bookshop and select books. We were on a time crunch. So when I saw how many books that they had, I was so overwhelmed. I think I made good selections because I went for the authors I haven't heard before, except for one. And I didn't think too much about the synopsis of the books, or I didn't read through the whole story in the back of the book before selecting the book. I thought I'll just be random because I won't get this chance again. We don't have Barnes and Nobles or huge bookstores in Melbourne. We have QBD, we have Big W. We don't have a great selection of books in here. We also don't get pretty covers like sprayed edges. We don't have that here. When I saw those books with sprayed edges and pretty colors, I couldn't resist buying those ones. I didn't even check who the author was. So yeah, it's not very calculated purchase, but I hope you guys enjoy this collection. So the first book is Agatha Christie's Toward Zero. So you guys know how I feel about Agatha Christie. I had to buy something of Agatha Christie's. So this one, I haven't heard about this one before, and it's a small book. It's not a big one. Oh no, 233 pages only. Quick read. So the synopsis of this is: what is the connection among a failed suicide attempt, a wrongful accusation of theft against a schoolgirl, and the romantic life of a famous tennis player? To the casual observer, apparently nothing. But when a house party gathers at Gull's Point, the seaside home of an elderly widow, earlier events come to a dramatic head. As a superintendent Battle discovers, it is all part of a carefully laid plan for murder. Yeah, it's so interesting. I didn't read the synopsis of any of these books. So I'm reading for the first time with you guys. And I'm so excited to pick this book up. And I'm sure it's Agatha Christie's. You can't go wrong. So the second book is a very exciting one. I looked for this book everywhere. For some reason, when I went to Barnes and Noble, this book slipped through my mind. It didn't occur to me that I have to look for this book because this released on 20th of May in US, and I was there and I was waiting to find the deluxe version of this book because I knew we get a different covers and different versions of books, especially Liz Tomford's. I don't think we get the same version as the US ones. So I was so excited to look for this book. I found this not in Barnes and Noble. I found this in Target, the deluxe version. I was so happy. So this is the deluxe version of Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. This is the book. And this is Rio's story. If you're familiar with Liz Tomford's Windy City series books, I loved all of those books except for The Mile High, the first one. Not a fan of Xander's. And I thought Rio was the cutest character of all. And I was waiting to read his story because he is not one of the regular guys, if I say so, because he's more friendly with the girls. He goes to the girls' nights and girl dinners, and all the girls in the gang treat him like a brother of their own. I wanted to see how his story is going to be because he wasn't showed in a romantic light, while the other guys, we had some idea how they would be when they are in relationship. But with Rio, I had no idea. I didn't know how the story was going to be. And I can say Liz Tomford did not disappoint. So look how beautiful this book is. It's so pretty. And I read this book in the flight because we had a 15-hour flight. Yes, guys, 15-hour flight. I usually like long haul flights. I'm that crazy. But this flight, we were in middle seats and I didn't enjoy flight as much. But this book saved me from my misery. This book was written so well. And in this, we follow Rio and Heyy. So I'll read the synopsis for you. Haley. When I was 11, my family moved next door to his. When I was 13, he was my first crush. When I was 16, we fell for each other. And when I was 19, we broke each other's heart. 6 years later, I've landed an internship with a big name interior designer in a new city. Unfortunately, that city just so happens to be the one he plays hockey for. I thought Chicago was big enough to avoid him until I get the surprise of a lifetime and unknowingly move in right next door. And even worse, the renovation project I am assigned to in hopes of turning that internship into my full-time dream job, it's his house. So this is so interesting. I love second chance romance, especially childhood sweethearts. I love those type of stories. And this had everything. This had witty humor, the banter, genuine connection. And I really love how Liz Tomford writes guys because they really feel like guys, not like guys that women will write. Rio's character, I have had friends like him. So he feels more of an authentic, like a real character. I love their story. I'm sure you will love this too. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend. I thought of changing up my genre a bit and picking up different type of books this time because we don't always get a variety of mystery and thriller books here in Australia. Most of the time you can find romance and I would say non-fiction books easily in stores. But when it comes to thriller and mystery, I don't see much of a variety here. And when I saw this book, I was immediately drawn to it. I think because of the cover. Look how beautiful the cover is. This is Misery by Stephen King. Big name. And I think I've read one of his books when I was in school, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot remember what was the book because he was a big name back then too. And there was a craze that everybody read his books, and I read one too, but I have no recollection of what the book was. So when I saw this book, I thought I want to start reading Stephen King again. So I haven't read the synopsis. It says best-selling novelist Paul Shelton has finally met his biggest fan. Her name is Annie Wilkes, and she is dismayed to discover Paul's plans to kill off Misery Chastain, the heroine of his beloved series. Annie is more than a rabid reader. She is Paul's nurse, tending his shattered body after an automobile accident. She is also his captor, imprisoning him in her isolated house, where no one knows he is. Annie wants Paul to write his greatest work just for her. She has a lot of ways to spur him on. One is a needle, another is an axe. And then there's the blowtorch, winner of the Bram Stoker Award for Best Novel and a classic film starring Academy Award winner Katie Bates. Misery is one of the King's most brilliant and formidably unnerving books ever. I wish I had read the synopsis of this. I don't know if I'll be excited to read this. It sounds horrible. But yeah, let's see. I don't do well with psychological thriller types of books because it gets into my head too much. I think about every minor detail and I read into the lines too much and it really messes with my head sometimes. So I'll give this a shot and see how it goes. I'll let so you know. The next one is The Rom-Comers by Catherine Center. I have not read any books by Catherine Center. So let's see what is this about. He wrote a romantic comedy screenplay and it's terrible. She just got hired to fix it. Let the banter begin. It's a pretty book, can you see? It's really a pretty book. See, Emma Wheeler desperately longs to be a screenwriter. She spent her life studying, obsessing over and writing romantic comedies, good ones that win contests. But she's also been the sole caregiver for her kind-hearted dad who needs full-time care. Now, when she gets a chance to rewrite a script for famous screenwriter Charlie Yates, her personal writing gold, it's break too big to pass up. It looks good, it sounds good. There are so many good reviews of this book. Let's see, I'll give you guys an update once I finish this book. I also need to have a routine again. I haven't done there were no books to wrap up anyway for the month of May because I didn't, only one book I have read. So I didn't do any monthly wrap up. I didn't do my TBR jar video. I'll slowly get into my routine now since I'm back. So the next one is Hide Away Heart by Melanie Harlow. So this is the book. As you can see, I have read quite a bit and it's also very pretty. Look at these edges. Very pretty. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to finish this one because this book started off to be so annoying from the beginning. To me, I don't think I love the trope like celebrity and a common guy or other way around relationship. I don't really like those. I don't know why. That's his book of Sarah Adams too. I think When in Rome. Is it When in Rome? I think because I wanted to read it, but I think it's another celebrity, a regular guy romance. I don't want to read it. I don't know. I don't really enjoy that trope. So I didn't know since as I told you guys, I didn't read synopsis of any of these books. So this is about a country singer called Pixie Hart. That's her stage name. Her real name is Kelly Jo Sullivan. So she is in need of a bodyguard because her previous bodyguard was fired due to some issues. And so her brother joins one of his Navy SEAL friends as her bodyguard and she doesn't like it. She fights it and then eventually she accepts her brother's offer and there is a bit of banter and it's okay. The story is okay. Only thing I didn't like the main male character's qualities, the way she has written the male main character. I didn't really connect with it. And to top it off, also, they have this instant connection, which I really don't like in books. Like, I like a slow burn. I don't like instant pull. I don't think it's realistic. And yeah, there's cheesy tropes like there's only one bed and they have to share forced proximity. I read about 159 pages, and this is, I think, 300. 335. I don't know if I'm going to finish this or I'm on the verge of DNFing this book, but I'll let you guys know what I decide. So the next one is All Too Well by Corinne Michaels. So this is the book. It's a pretty book. Look at this, it's just so pretty. So I haven't read this book yet. Synopsis is, for as long as I can remember, Lachlan Best has been my brother's best friend and the love of my life. Trouble is, he kissed me 4 years ago and then never spoke to me again. I was doing great pretending he doesn't exist until I was assigned to write an article about college former college athletes, and I learned that the sexy single dad is my first interview. Now, determined to wow my editor with an amazing sports piece. I have mentioned I know nothing about sports. I head to Ember Falls, ready to face my fears and the man I love. All right. Let's see how this goes. I haven't read Corinne Michaels' books before, so I don't know what to expect. I'll update you guys on this. The last book is Only Mine, Honey Mountain series by Laura Pavlov. So this is the book. It's also so pretty. I've read this book actually, and so that makes 2 books for the month of May. At the time of buying this book, I forgot that I have read one of other Laura Pavlov's books and I didn't really enjoy the experience. I forgot about it. So when I saw this book, because this book was so pretty, I was drawn to it immediately. I thought I'll give it a go, forgetting that I didn't really enjoy Laura Pavlov's writing. So this book is about most women would drop to their knees at the sight of Wolf Weber. Lucky for me, I'm not most women. It this should have been my clue if I cared to read the synopsis while buying these books. Because I don't like this narrative. So Laura Pavlov starts off with this narration of the female main character saying that I'm not like most women, I'm not like most girls, I don't fall too easily, I don't cry too easily. I despise that narrative. Just because some girls, some women cry too easily and falls in love too easily, why shame them? Why degrade people's feelings? I despise that. And it's also, I feel that this story was so superficial. I feel it's like, fit guy, fit girl. At one point, there's this scene. I'm really sorry if I'm spoiling this for you. You can skip ahead. I'll give you time. Please skip ahead if you intend to read this book. And it's like there's this scene where he sees the guy Wolf, that is his name, Wolf. Wolf sees the girl, I forgot her name, Dylan, working out, and it's like, oh, she works out every day like I do, and she has these steel abs, and so much description about her body and vice versa. Dylan Thomas does the same thing to Wolf Webern too about his body and things. I don't like that aspect. I know many authors do that. I don't like it. There should be more attractive qualities, like innate qualities, than how you look like. outside. Do you know what I mean? I know it's just a story, but it gave me the biggest ick. And I finished it. I read this, but I don't think Laura Pavlov's writing is for me. I'm really sorry if she's one of your favorite authors. I just didn't connect to the story. There was so many red flags, the sirens going off in my mind while I was reading this book. So yeah, it's a pretty book though, but the story I didn't really enjoy. So those are the 7 books I bought when I was on vacation. I really hope you enjoy this book haul and reading the synopsis with me. How was your May? I want to know what you have read. What is your most highly rated book of the month? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you with a new video soon. Bye for now.